Hey, welcome back to another RacerX track examination. My name is Donnie, and today I'm joined by one, if not the, pleasant surprise of the 450 class this year, a true blue privateer sitting 22nd in points after making 10 of the first 12 mains, Psychic Motorsport Kawasaki's Josh Cartwright. Thank you so much for making some time in your absolutely overloaded schedule to break down the Atlanta track map with me.
Yeah, I'm pumped. This is definitely a crazy weekend of a track, so definitely would be cool to just show the people what we're probably going to be doing on
For sure. So we're going to make this one quick because I believe your day job is going to start here in a few minutes. And we're in
it.
Atlanta this weekend, back at the Motor Speedway, the third year we're running it. Typical Speedway layout, sprawled across the infield between the raceway and the pit lane. Josh, looking at this track map, what is the very first thing that stands out to you?
Man, whoops. That's the first thing that kind of stands out for me is that you have two pretty decent long set of whoops back to back. Like literally, we go whoops down a straightaway, turn whoops right out of the corner. And I know with this dirt, I know in 2020 it was, they made probably the biggest whoops I've ever seen in my life. So I hope they don't make those this year, even though I'm a whoop guy. But that looks like it's going to be a factor.
For sure. Do you think that this is going to be the most crucial section of the track, those back to back whoops?
Probably, just because like everything else is going to be pretty spread out. Usually, this track is usually pretty big and pretty open. So I think depending on how they build those whoops, they've been building them pretty well this year. I've been pretty pumped on Dirtworks' whoops this year. Definitely has been a couple of hard ones, but I've been pumped on how they've been building them to where they know how they're going to break down.
For sure. So it's hard to gauge the scale on this track because we don't, it's not a stadium to really put it in, but the start straight looks long and pretty narrow.
Looks along.
And
Yep,
we've had
looks
that
along.
same long narrow for the last few weekends as well. Are you concerned about gate pick for the longer ones, or do these long starts kind of give you more opportunity to move around before the first corner?
No, like I actually like the long ones because you can go really anywhere. You can get the whole shot from pretty much anywhere. Like if you watch the one from this weekend, I was on the inside, Moran's was on right next to me. We pulled out up there. But then you see Joe on cross coming from, I think, literally like almost one of the last gates, pulling one of the whole shots. So like on those long ones, it gives you another opportunity just to get it. And my Williams motor and his too. He has the same motor as me, so it pulls a lot of down the straightaway. Pulls a lot of power coming down. So I like the long ones.
What about for like safety? Or is there ever any concern? You're just like, man, it is so gnarly hitting the end of that long straightaway and you're all just pinned, or is it like just so much fun?
It's kind of 50-50. Like I know it's in the back of everyone's head, but you kind of got to turn that switch off. Like if you looked like at Moran's this past weekend, he just went straight into there and just got the bad end of it. But hey, that's what you got to do to try to get up there with those big dogs and try. We all know he knows how to start. So I was right next to him and I told him actually on the line, I'm like, yo, I know you're gonna get this start. Just don't cut over on me, and I'll just slide in the inside with you. And he's like, all right, we're good.
There you
It's
go.
exactly what we did.
That's funny. So we got two sand sections, one right after the other, and with a little bump in the middle. And at first, I thought this was going to be a wall to slow them down, but looking at the animated track map that Supercross posted, it's actually a launch.
Oh yeah.
So what's it like to pin a 450 and just leap into some fluffy sand rollers 40 feet down the line?
Scary, very scary because yeah, they love doing that at this race. They did it, I think last year it was, or two, yeah, last year right after that 140 foot triple they built, where it sucks because like it's fun jumping into it when you just do kind of like the normal like triple, but then you have those crazy guys that ended up starting quadding in or just launching in as long as you can, and now everyone's like, now we got to do that like if we want to compete and like so it's pretty sketchy, but it's like that beach sand, but it is a factor to where who's going to send it more, who's going to grow a pair and send it.
A very stewable line, I think, through there.
Very, very.
So one thing I thought that was interesting is this track has multiple, presumably 60 footers with the lights on top, but they're not triples. They're just big doubles with kind of a flat landing, probably to conserve dirt because it's going to take a lot of dirt to build this track. Are those sketchy to hit, kind of like the doubles across the start from a couple weeks ago? Just is there something about having the middle jump missing that psychs you out a little bit?
It's a little weird, because I know like a lot of people don't like doubling the Supercross triples. I do. I like doubling them first, just so I can feel the face. This you kind of just got to jump in the middle or just hit them first lap. Depending once we walk them on the track, we can kind of notice if they're going to be hard or not. I think it was 2020. It was maybe, or maybe it was last year. I get them mixed up. There was like three doubles in a row that were all pretty big. So those were a little sketchy, and it was a little muddy that weekend. But yeah, just depending on how they build them, because those were super steep that weekend. And but yeah, depending on how they build them, it kind of just makes it a little iffy of, hey, is this going to be long? Is this going to be short? Where like last year, that big giant double was really fun because all it was when it was the triple. I'm glad I didn't get to hit that because that was scary and pressed. But when they changed it to the double, it was pretty much just wide open. You weren't going to overjump it.
How relieved were you to notice that 140 footer is just not there? Like, was that a big
Oh,
sigh of relief?
so happy. Because I was on a 250 last year and my 250 was a good bike, but I was like, I don't want to hit that. I'm 170 pounds on a 250 and I don't want to try to hit that. So I was happy when I saw them taking that down.
So I checked the Racer X Vault this week, and you have actually never raced a pro national, but you've done just fine at Daytona, and you did great here in Atlanta last year on 250. Is it time constraint with your job that keeps you out of the outdoor series, or are you just like it's not your thing?
Kind of both. Just like when I was in school, I kind of just focused on Supercross because it was just a little easier to do the series. Because outdoors is gruesome. It's hard. It's hard on the bike. It's hard on your body. It's hard on just everything. It's not as much money, so it wasn't worth it. So I didn't do, and I wanted to focus on school in the summer because I just took classes all year round just to get just finished. And so once I was out of school, I was kind of behind the eight ball just on all the people that I grew up with racing. They've done outdoors for the last 4 years. So I went and did Canada for up there a couple times or two years in a row. But yeah, just when I got down here, it's just I don't think I'll be able to do as well as I do in Supercross without just a lot of training. I think I could do it, but it's just a lot of work. And if someone would offer me a ride and say, "Hey, we want to pay for everything, we want to do this," I would definitely end up trying doing it. But doing it on your own on a privateer, it's hard. You need a rig because it's 110 degrees, and what are you going to go sit in your truck in the AC? Like it's not my style.
That's fair. So you've been with the with Bubba Pauly squad recently, and this year you've broken off, started your own program. I know you're still pitting right next to them. You're still getting some kind of support. How is your program built this year? How are you going racing? Is it working out well?
It's actually working out really great. I've always wanted to kind of try to do it on my own program because now that once you're a rookie in the first couple of years, you don't have many connections, so it's hard to build a program. But now that I'm kind of a vet, I've been here for 9 years. I have so many connections, so many people that want to help out that I was able to build a program. And Psychic Motorsports came on really good, and T3 Civil Inc., Cardinal Solutions, and Ronnie Prado. Those are my four just big sponsors that helped me get to the races this year. And it's been awesome. I've been able no like also Bubba with Mad Parts. I'm kind of like his little side deal, and so getting him some press too. So it's been awesome because I've been able to have my own no pressure, do my own thing, put whatever parts I want on, and like because when a team hires you, they look at you, and if you do bad, they're like, "Yo, this is not what we hired you for." And when you're on your own, that pressure's off, and I think that's how and even Bubba said it. He's like, "You ride better with no expectations." He's like, because you're just out there having fun. Like that's why I'm still doing this. I have a job. It's not like I'm doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I love dirt bikes and I love racing and I love this sport.
So how can the fans at home follow your racing, and how can they help support your program?
Yeah, so I my Instagram jcartwright519. It's a big part of what I do. Put everything on. Yeah, if you want to support my program, really, I actually got a cool thing coming up. I'm thinking about doing like the little Moran's thing where they do like a little $10 entry for a signed giveaway, like shroud number plate, and I'm actually gonna give away my dad's guitar. He's gonna let me give away. It's a cool purple guitar. I'm gonna sign and give away that. So I think I'm gonna do that like maybe this weekend or in Nashville, kind of the announcement. So I gotta get the guitar in the hand from my dad. So hopefully he drives there this weekend and he can bring it and we can make the video. But yeah, just go to my Instagram, follow me, jcartwright519, and watch my progression because I'm not done. I got a lot more years in me.
Hell yeah, man, that's exciting. Looking forward to your program launching for the fans. Thanks again, Josh, for joining me to break down the Atlanta track weekend. Be sure to give this guy a follow, and thanks as always for watching Racer X. Be sure to visit racerxonline.com for all of your motocross and supercross news.